Alright, tonight's project's born just a little bit out of necessity. A couple days ago we had a high windstorm and it stripped probably 60% of the apples off of our apple tree. So we picked up the apples off the ground, filled up about one 55-gallon job site trash can, and this evening we're going to go ahead and crush those apples and try out this Weston press right here. Inside the house, we're taking the apples, rinsing them, and then quartering them up before we send them off to the apple crusher. Now this is the Weston press. It's a little bit on the smallish side, but we have used it to make a batch before, and it actually worked great. So one of the things I noticed, this does absolutely have to be bolted down to something. When we did it before, we did it inside the house, and it was a real pain trying to hold the press steady while we were really bearing down on it. So I've got it actually screwed down to the deck. For this batch right here, outside, I've got a pan to collect the apple juice right there, and we've got some cheesecloth over the top of it that'll collect any bits or anything like that, so it doesn't actually end up in our apple juice. We'll see if we can lift this apple cake off of here in one piece. Yep, got her. Okay, we'll add a little bit of sugar, some cinnamon, nutmeg, and ground cloves. Well, I've done 5 presses now with this Weston press and shredder. The shredder's worked great, no problems at all. It's not deteriorating or coming apart or anything like that. It does definitely need to be clamped down to something. There's just too much force needed when you're shredding apples to leave it loose. So But other than that, it's worked great, no problems at all. The press has also worked pretty good. The one issue I ran into, the dogs that go in the top of the ratchet mechanism here, after my third press I had to take them out, take them to the shop and use my flap wheel to grind the burrs down on them. Just the extra force was causing little burrs to form on the edges of them, and then they were operating inconsistently. I couldn't get it to ratchet. So after I ground them down though, they operated smoother than they did before, so hopefully they stay that way. Like I said, I've done 5 batches with it. I've gotten around 10 gallons of apple juice, so about 2 gallons per batch. And you know, the hopper's a little bit small, so you know, I'd say if you've got a whole lot of apples to do and you're going to be doing 40 or 50 gallons, this might be a bit small, but for me, the entire contents of my apple tree are going to yield maybe 15 to 20 gallons total for a year. So this is the perfect size for me. 5 to 10 batches is no problem. So overall, it seems pretty well built, and I'm definitely happy with the way that these work. Well, this has been a fun project. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll go ahead and put links to this cider press and apple shredder in the video description.